Happy Wednesday to you and appreciate your company. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day with you as your busy schedule continues to move on. We're here updating you on a lot of news, weather, sports, and other events and other important coverages happening in our region. Right now, though, when we talk about the heat, we're going to take a break from the local forecast here because this has obviously been such a historic week over the parts of the Pacific, Northwest Pacific, as well as the northeastern areas, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. You're even seeing some hotter temperatures once again. So I have pulled some graphics from you and saved you some time, but you can also do a little bit of homework if you wish to do so on the National Weather Service's website. Just go to weather.gov and you can pretty much go, there's a search bar on there. You can type in heat safety, heat tips, whatever you want to type it in. So I want to begin here with this heat chart here. This is the heat index. We talk about this all the time. And this pretty much gives you a lot, I guess there's a lot of numbers all over on that map on there. So, or on this chart, I shall say. So what you see up there, I'm going to give you a quick example. Of course, we've been seeing some low mid 80s today and low 90s this past week. So for example, if the temperature is right around 90 degrees, the heat index is at 91. That's for roughly about with a 40% humidity. Now, obviously, the higher the humidity and the dew points go, you see that number there on your the left column there with the relative humidity. You see the higher that number goes, the higher the heat index, which is pretty much the atmospheric feels like temperature, and that's what we see right there. And of course, we're going to move on to the Pacific West. We're talking about heat safety out there, which, by the way, if you can believe this or not, British Columbia, this is the border above the corridor above Washington State and Idaho and Montana, I think it is. They've been breaking records every day. Lytton, British Columbia, broke a record of 115 degrees the other day. They broke a record of 116 degrees earlier again, and so this is impressive heat. Speaking of heat safety, here are some key safety tips to keep in mind when you're in the car. We talk about this all the time, and unfortunately, we've already seen a few fatalities of children and pets left in the hot car for a short amount of time. Doesn't see that you see that temperature of the inside of it 99 degrees. It only takes 10 minutes for the temperature to heat up there inside the vehicle with a temperature of 80 degrees. 20 minutes later, 10 minutes on 20 minutes, the temperature is 80. It's already 109 degrees. And again, and so forth. You see the temperature continues to go up. So that's what we keep saying. Look before you log. It is never worth taking someone's life in a hot vehicle, pet, elderly, sensitive person, whatever it is. Take them out because it is just so urgent. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, and you're probably getting tired of hearing me say this stuff, but you know, it's important, and I want you to stay safe. Have fun this summer, but I also want you to stay safe. All right, now let's get to the tropics because that's also another story. Danny quickly dissipated, formed, and outside of Georgia, the South Carolina coast there. No longer a immediate threat to the U.S. It's going to get caught up on a frontal boundary, which we're going to talk about here shortly. Two disturbances here. We've got that 60% chance that next name would be Elsa. It has got a high likelihood of probably developing here in the next few hours, if not by tomorrow. So after this newscast, there's probably a high likelihood that storm could form somewhere between that little Caribbean island there and, of course, another disturbance. It's giving a 10% chance. Not really too concerned about that one, but we're looking at the 60% chance of developing into something. That one, computer models, by the way, I've been looking at those too, have this track going right up towards Florida. So we got to keep a close eye on that again. So anyway, all right, enough of the national and local stuff. Let's get back to the local things of that nature. Temperatures sustaining in the 90s, the mix of sun and clouds, hazy, hot, humid, pretty much sums up our night with clear skies developing overnight. Tomorrow we do bring back a better chance of rain, and it's going to be hot and humid. We talked about the heat index. Remember that chart I showed you earlier? It's going to be 90. It's going to probably feel closer to 93, 94, 95 maybe. And then we have the heat and humidity giving us some storms. We could see some strong storms developing out of this front that's coming through tomorrow. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on that. If any storm that does develop, main concern is going to be heavy rain and obviously a gust of wind. We could see those develop as well. So it does look like tomorrow and Friday is going to be the wettest day. Saturday, right now, things are computer models are showing that we could potentially get this sneaky, pesky front out of here before Sunday for the firework displays for whatever you're going to be doing. So a lot of things to keep track of. We've been talked about heat safety, the tropics, and now we got to keep a close eye on the 4th of July because Mother Nature could be producing her own fireworks, which we could be in the needing rain because we need the rain, by the way. We'll talk about the drought monitor coming up tomorrow. It's looking good, by the way. That's all I have for you. I want you to stay safe. Remember to have fun, folks, but please look after each other.